Hi, my name is Fraser Townley. I'm the president of Wikipad, the maker of Gamevice.
So how did this company come about?
The origins of the company were a few years back. We understood that tablets were growing. We also knew that 2/3 of tablet usage was gaming. So we tried to combine a tablet with a controller. At the time, however, there was no controller support in Android operating system. So we actually had to go out and make our own tablet in order to fulfill our ambition to have a tablet, a gaming tablet. Since then, iOS, Android, they've all put controller support into the firmware, into the operating system. So now we can develop controllers for those tablets and those operating systems. And this is where Gamevice came from. So the tablets have evolved immensely over the last few years. The most important changes have been in the CPU and the GPU. So the performance of the product is phenomenal. Some of the tablets that are out today can actually beat the performance metrics of some of the laptops that are being used today in offices and in people's homes. What we're seeing with the improved displays as well is making the handheld experience so much better than it was just even 18 months ago. So what we're focusing on and what we're anticipating is the tablet will become more powerful than the console. And this will give you the opportunity to play console games onto your tablet. What's also important is mobility. So mobility is not about being on a plane and being on a train, although being on a plane and being on a train is a great place to game. But most people, when they think of mobility and when you look into the stats of where people are actually playing their games, they're playing them in the living room, they're playing them in the kitchen, they're playing them in the bedroom. 1/3 of people claim that they play their games in the bathroom. So there is a mobile aspect to your gaming, which is all about being around the home. It's not necessarily about being out of the home. So we're offering a mobile experience for gaming within the confines of your own home.
So what are some of the challenges in entering the tablet market today in 2015 for your company specifically?
Well, one of the major challenges, of course, is which tablet do we decide to build a Gamevice for, given that all the tablets have different connections, different sizes, different screen sizes, different aspect ratios. So the obvious tablet to focus on is an iPad, where you have the iOS standard. We are using a Lightning connector to connect to the product. We want to have a direct connection. We don't want to use Bluetooth. Yes, latency is getting better with Bluetooth, but there's also potential latency with cloud-based gaming. And what our feeling is that latency plus latency is not a good thing for the gamer. So we want to cut out as much of the latency as possible, which is why we want to go with the direct connection through the Lightning connector.
So how do you think your device will influence future game development on tablet devices?
That's an interesting question. So what we've seen with gaming over the last 30 years is this gradual progression into a more complex controller for the game. And then all of a sudden, a shift to mobile gaming and very simple touch swipe gesturing on a tablet. There's a back catalogue of 30 years of controller-based gaming. So that's going to have a big influence. If you can control the game with a controller, traditional controller on iOS, this opens the door to the developers who have got a back catalogue. But it also means that the developers who have got more complex games that can work on an iPad, given the processing power that is coming on to the platform, it means that the developer doesn't have to concern themselves and worry about creating additional gestures and swiping for their product.
When is your product coming to market?
Okay, well, we've done all of the development work. We've actually gone into tooling. So the major process in making a product like this is getting the PCB sorted, getting the firmware sorted, but then getting the plastic parts into a tooling situation. So we have all of that done now. Now it's about refining everything and going into mass production. So we're probably 30 to 40 days away from mass production, and therefore we can look at an anticipated launch date of somewhere in the March region. And that's our focus, that's our goal. We're talking to all the major retailers. They all seem excited about the product. So we've got to turn that excitement into orders and therefore into shelf space.
Where can people find more information about your product?
From a Gamevice point of view, they can find out more information on the Gamevice website, which is gamevice.com. Alternatively, you can like us on Facebook, or you can follow us on Instagram, where we're constantly updating on a daily basis with information, exciting news and events that we're getting involved in.